Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Deep, hey? I know, right? 1/2. 5/4. Tricky. -1. Tricky. -5. Tricky. 9/2. Positive. Tricky. -7/5. Any questions about those 6? No? 1 mark each, because all you had to do is put in slope-intercept form. You only had to do one thing. That is y equals -1. These are all going to be worth 1 because you only had to do one thing. There is x equals -4. +3, slope of -2, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Boom. -x, this way. Right through the middle. Making that out of 4 and 6 makes that page out of 10. Any questions? Going once. Twice. Thrice. Excellent. Now, these ones are a little bit harder because you got to put them in slope-intercept form and then graph them. So all these are going to be worth 2. X plus 4 equals y. 4 with a slope of 1 should look like that. 2 marks. Y equals 6/5 x minus 4. Any questions about either of those? Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. Okay. 2y equals 2/5 x minus 3 for 2 marks. Y equals -x minus 1. Any questions about either of those two? Going once, going twice, going thrice. Y equals x plus 1. Up like that. Making this page out of 8, if I'm not mistaken. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Sorry, 12. Everybody's good? All right, that's the basics of graphing. Now we move on to tough stuff. Find the x and y intercepts. If I want the x-intercept, what disappears? The y disappears. So I get 2x minus 8 equals 0. 2x equals 8. X equals 4. Should I put that on the graph right now? No, why not? Because I got to check the y in case it's a fraction or something stupid, right? When we do the y-intercept, what disappears? The x. 5y equals, 5y minus 8 equals 0. 5y equals 8. Y equals 8/5. It was something stupid. So I got to change the scale, right? Or maybe I don't. I'm going to do both. You decide which one you did. All right? You get 2 marks for the algebra. You get 1 mark for the graph. Now, in red is changing the scale. So it's the y's that are messed up, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1, which is how many fifths? How many fifths are in 1? 5/5. I need to go 8/5. 5, 6, 7, 8. There is 8/5, yes? My x-intercept is -4. Now, if I keep the x scale the same, I would have to go all the way out to -20, wouldn't I? Am I allowed to do that? No. So you cannot change the x scale. So you leave it as 1. So I go out, all the way up to +20. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is what it would look like if you change the scale. Now remember, why do I make you do this? Because the next question I will ask you after you graph this on a test is, what is that slope? And some of you will count it. Are you allowed to? No. Why not? Because I changed the scale. Your rise is not the same as your run anymore. All right? So if I ever get you to change the scale and you only change 1 scale, you've got to remember you cannot count for slope. Everybody good? All right. Now, if I didn't change the slope, I'll graph that in green. Green is if I don't change scale. So, in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, I keep my 4 right here, but 8/5 is 1 and just past 1.5, right? Because it's 1 3/8. So it's just before 1.5, I mean. So your graph would look like this if you didn't change your scale. Is everybody cool? Does everybody understand the red and the green line, even though they look nothing alike, are exactly the same line? Everyone is good? I don't need to go over it again. Okay. Y plus 2 over 2 plus 3 equals 6/5. That's the way I do it, so I can have the y first. If you didn't do it that way, don't worry about it. Wait till we get to the end and see if we got the same answer. Y plus 2 over 5 equals 6 over 5. 5y plus 10 equals 30. 5y equals 20. Y equals 4. Now, some of you will have wanted to go the other way. You will have wanted to make this y2 and this x2. That's fine. Then you get -2 minus y over -3 minus 2 equals 6/5. -2 minus y over -5 equals 6/5. -30 equals -10 minus 5y. -20 equals -5y. Y equals 4. You get the same answer either way you do it. And you get 2 marks. 1 for remembering how to do y2, y1, and 1 for knowing how to do algebra. Yeah, yeah? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn the page over. Lots of hints in this question. There is hint 1. There is hint 2. And there is hint 3. You don't need to use the graph. I, of course, am going to do both. If I use the graph, this is what I would do. I would take this, I would call him line 1. And I would look at that guy and I would say line 1 is y equals 1/2 x minus 2, right? And I would go down to minus 2. I would go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And I would stop right there because that gave me the x-axis. And because they intersect on the x-axis, we know the other line has to go through there, right? So I know that line 2 has, what's line 2's slope? The slope of line 2 equals -2, right? That's my starting point. So -2 is up 2 over 1, right? Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. There's my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So y equals -2x plus 8. That will get you 3 marks if you use the graph. If you didn't use the graph, then you've got to use algebra. And you know that if line 1 equals 1/2 x minus 2, and you know line 2 has to be -2x plus b, right? Because you don't know what b is. Y has to equal -2x plus b. You know that point is on the line though, right? That point is 4 times, 4, 0, correct? Where does that 4 go? Here. Where does that 0 go? There. 0 equals -8 plus b, so b equals +8. Then you can go back to here and put in the 8 if you're going to work algebraically. Do I care which one you use? No. Have a preference, use it, but be aware of how they both work. Is everybody cool? Everybody understands how both of these work? Using the graph and using the equation? This is what we're going to be working on in the third block. This type of thing. Getting away from this type of thing. Okay? And I think this is the last question. Is it not? No, we got page 55 still. AB is parallel to CD. If they are parallel, then what can I say about the M of AB and the M of CD? If they're parallel. They're going to be the same. Which one of those can I find, AB or CD? AB. AB is 7 plus 8 over 2 plus 3. And CD is A minus 2 over 1. So 15 over 5, which is 3, equals A minus Z over 1. I don't need that over 1, do I? It's just 3 equals A minus, not Z, 2. Bring that over. What does A equal? 5 equals A. Everybody good? 2 marks. Because you had to remember what parallel meant. If they're perpendicular, I used to have 15 over 5, right? But if they're perpendicular, what do I have? I have -5 over 15, right? Which is -1/3, right? Which still equals A minus 2 over 1. Crisscross, -1 equals 3A minus 6, right? Bring the 6 over. 5 equals 3A. A equals 5/3. Also for 3 marks. Any questions there? All algebra. Making that page out of 3. Oh, sorry, that should have been 2 marks. 3, 2, and 2 is 7. And the last page. 4 marks here. 1 for the graph, and then 1 for each form. All right? So, if I'm going to graph this, what is my starting point? Pardon me? -3 and +4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what is my slope from there? -3/4. Down 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4. Or up 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. That gets you 1 mark. Now, is there a right order to change these around? Can I go to any other form from here that I want? Yeah, it's totally up to you. So if I start doing a different form than you started with, don't worry about it. Wait till we get to the end, right? The first one I would do here is I would go to general form, which means get rid of all the fractions, all the brackets, and get x positive. That's what I would do first. So my first move is going to be general form. Yes, sir. So y minus 4 equals -3/4 x plus 3. I have to get rid of what here? I have to get rid of the fraction, I have to get rid of the negative, and I have to get rid of the brackets. Is there a right order? No. Personally, I would get rid of the negative and the fraction at the same time by multiplying by -4. So that goes, and that goes. And I get 3x plus 3. What do I need to do to this side? Same thing, -4. So I get -4y plus 16. Now what do I have to get rid of? The brackets. So I distribute. -4y plus 16 equals 3x plus 9. Is my x positive? So should I touch x now? No, move everything else. 3x plus 4y equals, bring that over, becomes -16. 3x minus 4y minus 7 equals 0. There is your first of 3 marks. Now, standard form, your second of 3 marks. So easy. 3x plus 4y equals 7. You just move C. And your third of 3 marks. Isolate y. 4y equals -3x plus 7. Y equals -3/4 x plus 7. Plus 7/4. Yeah? Now, if you have graphed the line first like you were supposed to, this is super easy to check, isn't it? 7/4 is almost 2, right? Did my line go through very near to 2? Yes, it did. If I'd used a ruler, it would have gone through just below 2 where it was supposed to be. Everybody good? That's out of 4, and I think that's all. So 4 and 7 is 11. And that page, I didn't put a total on that page. 3 and 2 is 5. That's 16. And 12 is 28. And 10 is 38. And 14 is 52 by my count. How we feeling? Feeling good? Yeah? Okay. 10:40 is next break. I want to, in block 3, will you be done? Pages 156. Look, that's the font you missed out on. Isn't that cool? I know, it's King Thing's balloons. I think you may have seen it on another page. Because every letter's a balloon. Anyway, will you finish up to page 161 by 1040? Some people say yes, some people say no. I will check with you at 10:30. Okay? Go. What? I don't know. $153 was out of 3 and 2 is 5. I will check with you at 10:30. In the third block, you were doing a 12 multiple choice quiz. Yes. And then we're doing that next mini unit thing. When you get to the very last question on page 156, a great many of you are going to be stuck. But all you have to do is remember, X's and Y's are just IVs and DVs.